Happy Friday and welcome back to The Average Fisherman, everybody. So, today is going to be a video that I'm doing by popular request. And when I say popular request, I mean it. I have gotten tons of messages asking me to do a review of these two combinations, and specifically the rods, in one video as opposed to doing them separately. What I'm going to be reviewing today are the new Johnny Morris CarbonLite technique specific rods, one casting, one spinning, and I'm going to give you guys my honest, truthful opinion about both of these. I'm going to give some specs about the materials and stuff like that, and why I think they're worth it or not. So, the thing is, I did a review of the spinning version that I have here, and it just got hammered by the downvotes because I don't think a lot of people can handle it when anyone is critical of anything really. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I don't really, it doesn't bother me. My opinion doesn't change because it's an honest opinion based upon what I'm spending for this equipment. And a lot of people have been requesting that I do this video over and over and over again, to the point where I checked online about these, and right now, to be honest with you, these are 25% off, okay? So when I bought these rods, they were both $119. You can buy them right now at Bass Pro Shops for $89.95, okay? And I'll tell you guys what I think about that shortly too. So let's get right into the review because there's a lot of information here. And again, I hope this helps you guys, those of you that have been waiting for a review like this, because the comments I've gotten were, you're the only fishing YouTuber I know that has actually bought any of these, much less reviewed them. So let's get right into it. The first one I'm going to review is this one. This is the Johnny Morris CarbonLite Technique Specific Frogging Rod, and I have it paired up with one of the new CarbonLite Technique Specific Reels. First things first, it is 6'9" heavy fast. So 6'9" heavy fast, and I just have to tell you guys, this is an excellent rod. The wind grips, there you go. You can see the texture of them and stuff like that. The texture is super, super nice. They are really, really comfortable grips. Now, since the first review I've done of these, I've fished with both of these rods a few more times. So I'm going to add a couple things to the reviews on these that I missed the first time that I think really is relevant to if you guys think this is going to be worth your money. So the reel is a 8.3 to 1, which is really nice because it has that extra high speed to get those frogs through the lilies and stuff like that. But the thing I'm going to tell you guys, for a heavy fast rod, this rod behaves more like an extra fast rod, okay? I'm using this for topwater lures and heavy jigs, heavy punching rigs and stuff like that, heavy lures. And I have to tell you guys, it is one of my new favorite combinations. It replaces for me an older first generation Abu Garcia Veritas, one of the original ones, the big white ones that I had in heavy fast, and paired up with a Revo S reel, and that thing just weighed a ton. For what this is, being a heavy power setup made for catching frogs or using frogs through heavy cover, it's really, really lightweight and responsive, guys. The blank is really super sensitive. If you hold this here and you tap as light as you can on this rubber piece here, it is very, very, very noticeable in my left hand that's holding the reel. You can feel it like it's a drum, okay? This is a really sensitive combination. I'm really happy I got it. The rod, like I said, is now on sale for $89.95. I just got to tell you guys, if you're in the market for a heavy action bait casting rod for less than $90, I really don't think you're going to find something that's nice. So the only downvote that I have on this is between the previous generation and this generation, they've kind of downgraded the guides a little bit. Now for me, that's not a big deal at all, because frankly, when they redesigned these rods, they went with a different manufacturer for the carbon or the rod blanks, the graphite blanks, and they upgraded the blanks a little bit. So when Bass Pro is trying to sell these at a certain price point, which normally at full price they're $119, in order to hold that price at $119, if they're upgrading the quality of the blanks and the blanks are more expensive, then they have to downgrade somewhere else. And where they chose to downgrade was the guides. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Some people made a huge deal of this in the first video that I posted, but I have to tell you, after using it multiple times, it doesn't make any difference to me whatsoever. So what if it's zirconium inserts now? It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the way that the rod performs, for me at least, in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And frankly, I'd prefer the better quality, higher sensitivity blank than to have a lower quality blank and a higher quality guides. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying that the guides to me, especially on these casting models, just are not a big deal to me. Now, I don't have the cranking and the worm rods or anything like that in casting models. That's the only one I own. It's the frog model. And I can tell you guys right now, if you want a frogging rod or you need a frogging rod, for less than $90, this is a no-brainer. Go out and get one of these. You will absolutely be happy with this, because I'm telling you, the sensitivity on these is fantastic. I was getting bites on down to quarter-ounce swim jigs, and I was kind of bouncing them along the bottom, and it was no problem for me whatsoever to detect a light little tick, because these IM9 85 million modulus graphite blanks, especially in this model, is just, the sensitivity is really good. Now, is it on par with some of the higher end rods and stuff like that I have? No, of course not. But then again, for right now, you can get this for less than $90. And the higher end rods that I have are $300 and $350. So, I don't think it's fair to compare those kind of things, because that's a lot of the comments I get. Well, how does it compare to this? How does it compare to this? And my answer is always, you're asking me to compare a $100 rod to a $350 rod. It's not a fair comparison. And frankly, the reason why these are so great is because for the person who's on a budget, especially when you catch them on sale like right now for well under $100, you're getting really quality equipment for less than a bill. You know what I mean? These are really sensitive. I imagine you can use them for way more things than just top water and jigs. That's just what I'm using it for. And for less than $90, you're getting a really quality stick made out of really quality graphite. And it's going to be hard to beat for that price. So let's move on to the spinning model, and let me show you guys this one. It's the Johnny Morris CarbonLite Technique Specific Super Finesse. This one is 6'9" light fast, and I have it paired up with a Fluger President with 10-pound braid. So as you can see, the guides are kind of the same thing here. It does have the same specs on the graphite. It's IM9 85 million modulus. However, the thing that I was critical about last time is going to be the same thing that I'm going to say in this review. It's a light power, and I understand that, okay? I have several light power spinning rods made by other manufacturers. So I think the point that holds this rod back the most is the fact that it's not an extra fast tip. I think that if it's going to be super finesse, it needed the extra fast tip, because it's a little floppy in the tip, and that kind of hinders the sensitivity of this combination a little bit. Now, is it devastating? No, absolutely not. I had no problems fishing it with a baby brush hog. In fact, that's what it's rigged up for right here. You can see it's fishing baby brush hogs. I had very little problem detecting the bites. The truth of the matter is, though, that would it have an extra fast tip, it would just be that much better. But again, these are also on sale for $89.95, and I think for that price you're getting a hell of a rod, just to be honest with you guys. Now, you have to factor in the cost of a reel if you want a reel to go with them as well, but for just the cost of the rod being under $90, just under that $90 mark, it's going to be really hard to find a $100 rod that can compete with these things. Even this one, even the one that had the complaint about with having the somewhat floppy tip that hinders the sensitivity a little bit. It is still IM9, floppy tip or not, okay? It's still 85 million modulus graphite, floppy tip or not, and it's still pretty sensitive. Now, is it as sensitive as this frogging rod over here? Absolutely not. But is it good enough? It's more than good enough, guys. I'm going to tell you that. And I think that's why it got downvoted, because a lot of people misunderstood what I was trying to say in the previous video. I'm not saying it's a bad rod. I'm saying there are better rods, so, but they cost more, especially when you find these things on sale. Right now, $90, like I said, you're looking for a Finesse spinning rod. Man, I'm just going to say, I can't really think off the top of my head any rod that can compete with this for $90. I realize it's a sale price, but sale price or not, if you're paying 90 bucks, you're paying 90 bucks. And I can't really think of a rod off the top of my head in the $90 price point that will outperform this. Okay, I have several of the Shimano SLX-A rods that I showed here not that long ago, and I have to tell you guys, these are better. Okay, they're better than the Shimano SLX-A spinning rods that I use mostly for offshore or inshore saltwater, but these are way more sensitive than those. I recently took one out because this is the reel off of that rod, put it back together and went bass fishing with it again using the same exact lures, and I can tell you guys right now, I'm not making that mistake again. The SLX-A is just not sensitive enough for these super finesse presentations. Even though, you know, it's a medium extra fast with the SLX-A, this light fast Johnny Morris rod is much better than that as far as sensitivity and being able to tell what your lure is doing on the bottom and stuff like that. So again, $90 to $90, I'd pick this all day long. So you guys were asking for the updated review on these, and that's honestly my opinion. I'd go with the upgraded blanks over the downgraded guides any day, because ultimately speaking, these guides are going to be more than tough enough to catch any bass that you can haul in. And the upgraded blanks with the extra sensitivity that comes with the upgraded graphite is just going to be what's necessary in order to provide a sensitive, responsive blank. My only criticism between these two rods with this is it comes with this one, the Super Finesse. I think it needs to be an extra fast tip as opposed to just a fast tip, because in this light action it bends too far down. I think it comes all the way down to the 1, 2, 3, 5th guide. It needs to stop at about the 4th or 3rd guide from the tip in order to be just that much more sensitive, especially if you're calling it a Super Finesse. It needs to be just that. Super Finesse, super sensitive. The blank is there, the material is there, the build is there, okay? It's the materials built into this rod are really super sensitive. Just need that extra little bit with the faster tip, and I think they got a winner here. Am I going to be disappointed that I have this? Hell no, I use it all the time. It's like I said, I've just said, it's better than the Shimano SLX-A. That's a medium power, extra fast action. It's much more sensitive than that thing is, and I use that all the time offshore. But as far as bass finesse fishing goes, this is going to be a hell of a deal for you guys, coming in at well under $100. And I just right now don't think it can be beat at that price point. At the $120 price point that they come in at full price, yeah, I think they have some serious competition. You know, there's several other Abu Garcia rods or Luz rods that will come in at that same 120 price point. That these, it's going to be a tough battle between those and these CarbonLites. But under $100 at the $89 price point, I can't think of, honestly guys, off the top of my head, any rod that can compete with these as far as performance and sensitivity goes at the sub $90 price point. So if you're in the market for either one of these, I can highly recommend them, especially right now that they're on sale for $89.95. Yeah, the whole time I'm talking, I'm running through models in my head and stuff like that. I can't think of anything that would surpass this for that price point. So get them while they're on sale. I think you'll be really happy with those. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope you do well going fish. If you get a couple of these, please send me a message when the first time you use them. Let me know what you think about these. Let me know if you agree with the review after using them and stuff like that, and see if what I'm saying matches what your experiences are while you're on the water. And I hope you guys have a good time out there on the water. Be safe, mindful of the temperatures, and tight lines, my friends.